Today's vlog choice is a topic that may be a little unusual to some of you. It's one that I've been asked about, and that is autism service dogs. My son, Christian, who's my oldest with autism, received an autism service dog from 4Plus for Ability in 2009. So we've had her long enough to know whether or not she's been a benefit to our family. Some background on 4Paws, just so that you kind of know how we came about this. You have to apply, you have to have doctor's notes and prove your diagnoses, and you fundraise for your dog. You're given an X amount of money. I think ours was $13,000 or $16,000 or something, and you have to fundraise. Once you hit your goals, then you're given a graduation date, and that's the date that you receive your dog. These dogs are trained to whatever level your child needs. Obviously, they're all trained with the basic commands. They are also trained for seizure alert or diabetes alert or tracking if your child is a runner. It all depends on what your child and your family need. Once you go to Ohio to receive your dog, you're there for a 2-week period where you are trained to become the dog's handler. If your dog is being placed with a child, the child cannot be in control of the dog for obvious reasons. And after this 2 weeks, you have to pass an access test in order to receive the dog's license and to be able to go home. Our dog is trained in behavior disruption. She applies deep pressure by laying on people's legs or bodies, depending on who needs what. She is also trained to track, because when we received her, Christian was a runner. Thankfully, we've only had to do that in practice. We've never had to actually track because he's since outgrown the running, and my other two don't run yet, knock on wood. She is an amazing dog. When we're at home, she's a dog. There's clearly a difference between her at home and her in public when we have her vest on. She's smart enough to know the difference. She is tether trained, and what that means is when we're in public, we have a fisherman's vest on one of our children and attach a leash to the vest that attaches straight to our dog. And what this does is it allows myself or my husband to have control of our dog and gives our sons a little bit of independence in order to not have to hold a hand, but they can't go anywhere. Should they choose to start walking in a different direction, Jetta, who's our service dog, will actually put herself in a down and just lay on the floor. She won't allow them to kind of pull her away. Another thing that she does is she's phenomenal when it comes to behavior disruption. This dog reacts to any fluctuation of behavior before my husband or I do. She is amazing. She reacts different each time. It depends on what behavior we're seeing from my son. He is now 13, so he's getting big and he's getting loud, and she's been known to bark at him even to get our attention and to try to stop what's going on. It's unbelievable. I can't even put into words to watch her when this happens. She, like I said, she intervenes far before the adults around even do. She knows a command called touch, which we can give when Christian is stimming and spinning and banging or whatever he's doing that he does. And what she does is she will touch him. She will literally put her paw on his leg or his arm, depending on where he's sitting or standing, and she will touch him to get his attention, to get him to stop flapping or spinning. I can't even put into words. To watch her in action when she's needed is amazing. She did go to school for some time. It got to be a hassle having to go retrain the school, and the inability to be consistent across home and school got to be tough. And we got to the point where in our house we started using Jetta for not just Christian, but for his brothers as well. Having 3 kids with disabilities really has given her quite a job to do. And she does react to all three boys. In fact, she reacts to my husband and I as well. She is a comfort. When people are sick, she's right there. She does not like to sleep in bed with anybody. She never has. But one day I did find her in bed with Christian, and lo and behold, he had a fever. She had known he had a fever and laid in his bed long before I even knew he was sick. Her intuition is phenomenal. It's like no other. The way Four Paws matches these dogs with their families, again, is something that is, all I can say is it's learned. They have definitely learned how to read their dogs. They've learned how to train them for each individual family, and they are phenomenal at picking matches. They've been a huge support system for us. I have met many friends that I speak with via the internet on a daily basis. The support system is there forever, for the life of the dog. It isn't the 2 weeks you're there in person, but it's ongoing. We are so pleased with what they did and what Jetta has done for our family that we also adopted what's called, we use him as like an in-home companion, but he started the service dog program and was unable to finish. And having him, even with just the basic training and the way they socialized him in our home with my son with anxiety, has been huge. So we actually have 2 Four Paws dogs, one certified and one career changing is what they call it. So service dogs, as we all know, serve lots and lots of different purposes. Jetta is also Christian's best friend, and having autism, making friends is difficult. Keeping them is even more hard. And Christian doesn't have to work at it. Jetta loves him more than he loves himself. You know, she loves us when there's nothing to love about us. And that goes for Christian as well. Having a service dog has helped him to gain some independence. He has learned that he has to take care of her. He knows when to feed her. He knows how much food. You know, he always knows to check that she's got water. He can take her for walks with some assistance. It's taught him basic life skills. You know, we all know that we have different things that we have to be responsible for, but when you're a child with autism, learning those skills and tasks can be difficult. So there you have it. Jetta is a part of our family. We couldn't imagine not having her. She has changed our lives for the better. She's covered our house with dog fur. But overall, she's made Christian happy. She's given him a friend that you can't ask for. You know, you can't go into a school and expect your child to have a friend the way that Jetta has been to him. So besides her job of assisting him with his disability and helping life a little easier in that route, he has learned from her to love. And he understands the love of an unconditional friend, someone who will greet him at the door with a tail wag and a lick every day. It doesn't change. So if you have questions or you're contemplating a service dog but you weren't sure whether you would see benefits, I suggest you really dig deep. You know, look into your family structure, look into the disability that you're looking at, and do your research. But we couldn't be happier. I wouldn't change it for the world. She's amazing. So, you know, look, there's lots of organizations out there, but I have only really good things to say about Four Paws for Ability, so be sure to check them out too.